Well, uh, I wanted to get video games made this summer for Phillip Gallant Media, um, based on a couple of characters that I created a number of years ago. Um, I put the budget at like 2 grand, maybe. I think I found a guy on Fiverr who makes video games for like about $1,500 or something like that. And I did all the design work, like designing each sort of screen in the video games. So all I'd have to do is send him that, and he'd piece it together. I guess I didn't really communicate with him, so anyways, it doesn't matter anyways because that's just not on the budget this summer. That looks like maybe next year, or if I got a job, I'd be able to pay for someone to make video games for me. It's kind of the only reason I want to get a job is so that I have a lot of income coming in and I can invest it in my own business, in the Phillip Gallant Media business. Get video games made, maybe pay someone to write some original music that I'd have the rights to, like so that I own that music. I could publish the music on Spotify or use it in games. Um, it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. It's kind of on the back burner, I guess. Um, I've been making a lot of Spotify playlist covers. What I do is I make sort of a logo in Illustrator through putting shapes together and subtracting parts of shapes and all that stuff, to make like little logos. And then before when I was naming the playlist, I'd go this day in history and then find a word I don't use too often and then make that the name of the Spotify playlist. So there's kind of like, I guess, a system to it, but it was, it's not like there's any sort of real deep meaning to it. So, anyways, what I've done now instead is I looked up a bunch of interesting German and Japanese words, and I'm going to use those as playlist names, to go with the logos that I'm designing as playlist covers. Um, so I mean that's been pretty steady. For whatever reason, I in the release radar and the Discover Weekly playlists that I get on Spotify that are made up in, I guess there's like an algorithm to shop to me music I'd probably be interested in. I'm getting like something like 4 to 8 songs out of them. Whereas before I'd usually get like one or two. So I don't know what's changed or what's different, or maybe I'm hearing things differently. Um, yeah, so it's pretty good. So I get maybe like 8 songs. I add them to my master list, and then I create a playlist. And the playlists are usually top them out at about 30 songs or 2 hours. Uh, yeah, usually about 30 songs. I think the last two I made have been 31 songs. So it's pretty good. Mostly listening to house and disco and funk. It's future funk, I think, some of the stuff I'm getting. I don't get a lot of future funk. I usually get like one song, maybe every other couple weeks or something like that. But I like future funk songs. I follow the future funk artists on Instagram that I found out about back in like 2020, I think, when I first discovered future funk. I should probably try and see if there's any other kind of funk out there that I can listen to, because funk's pretty sweet. Um, but yeah, there's this musical act. I don't know if it's a person or if it's a group or what it is, called DPV, that puts out like I think they're like disco songs. And I don't know. I looked them up on Google and I said they're prolific, and I was like, yeah, they put out a lot of songs, so they're always like in my release radar. Some good sounds. Anyway, um, mom and dad left Friday. No, they left yesterday. Yeah, they left yesterday. So now I have the house to myself. May, June, July, August, September. So that's pretty sweet. It's a bungalow. So mom and dad's room's become my room now. And I've oriented the rest of the house in ways that accommodate the way I want to live. So that's pretty good. I haven't like hung up any pictures or anything like that. So it's still, the interior design's still the same basically, but it's kind of like house sitting for the summer. It's pretty sweet. Good months to have the house to yourself. Get out on the deck and enjoy some vitamin D. What else is going on? I get dribble jobs sort of sent to me, like gigs or something. So you can like design a logo for a couple grand. One time I saw there's someone was offering like 100 grand for some project. I was like, wow. How do you get to be at that level? It's pretty. It's like that guy who designed that next logo for Steve Jobs. I think he was paid something like that, or it's like a one-time payment for his expertise. That's pretty sweet. But yeah, I haven't applied for any of them because I don't know. When I see something that says minimal logo, then I'm like, I should think about that. Applying for that, but I haven't pulled the trigger on anything yet. So, yeah, I'm looking for jobs. Every morning I get LinkedIn alerts sent to my email, and I usually go for the easy apply ones. It drives me crazy, some of these jobs. I think it's called Workable or Workday or something. Uh, it's like a platform or some sort of service that hosts the job application part of whatever the company is, and they ask for your resume, but then they ask you to fill out like a form with basically everything that's on your resume. So it's like writing out your resume every time you have to apply to one of these places. And so I've sat through it a few times, but I'm just kind of like, what the hell is going on with this? Where you'd want my resume, but then you'd also want me to input, like do data entry for all the information that's on my resume. Like, what the hell is going on here? Um, Anyways, I have a instinct to stay away from those or something. I don't know. If it's a really suitable job, then maybe I'd apply for it and go through that whole process. But there's been nothing. I haven't found anything that's because I'm still kind of entry level on as far as advertising and marketing communications go. I mean, I have like some design experience that goes back to 2020, back even before that, when I was using Adobe apps and stuff to make products. But I don't know if my resume reads like that. I probably need to drastically overhaul my resume. The only things I have on there are from the time I worked at UW, from that seasonal stint I did with Indigo Books, and then like just my self publishing efforts are on there. Um, yeah, I haven't worked at a job for like more than a year, other than self publishing ebook picture books. Um, so, I mean, I guess that's there to demonstrate that I can stick with something, um, and can commit, because I have. And I'm looking to create a picture book this summer and publish it, self publish it. Um, anyway, I don't think my resume stands out in probably like 100% of the jobs I'm applying for. So it's kind of annoying. I graduated from the AdMarcom program. My marks would put me as graduating with distinction, but because I withdrew from the bookkeeping program before I got into the AdMarcom program, I think it holds me back because it put me on academic probation for like I dropped out of the bookkeeping program before you'd get a failing grade. I was like, okay, this is the last day to withdraw. I'll withdraw before that date because it wasn't working out in the second part of it. First part of it, I did pretty good, 3 A's, 2B pluses, and then a D in tax class because I had no idea what the hell was going on in tax class. It was like they were teaching us to do tax forms, like do tax returns, I guess, and that part I got to like an 80 percentile. I understood how to do that, but then there was like some theory component, and I was completely lost. I didn't know what the hell was going on, so that weighed me down and resulted in like a D. So anyway, and I think I actually failed the course, but I think he curved it or something. So uh, that put me uh, in D status for like a pass. So anyways, I dropped out of that bookkeeping course the second semester because some of the stuff just I wasn't grasping, and anyway, it was really too bad. That kept me from graduating with distinction in the AdMarcom program, so that's really a shame. I'm gonna look at all my grades and add up my average, and just so I have for personal reference an idea of how well I did in the AdMarcom program. Some people graduated with high distinction I've seen on LinkedIn from my cohort. So, oh wow, that means they got like 90% on like everything. That's awesome. And I would have only graduated with distinction. I was mostly in the 80% range in the AdMarcom stuff. I got uh, two or three courses that were like 75%. I don't know if that necessarily represents the reality of my abilities too. Like I created over like I got 75% copywriting, and when I worked my field placement, um, I made 100 image files and used original copywriting for like 80% of them. There was like 20% I used AI. I was like, give me 3 lines of copy with this, or 3 words of copy with this, so I could put it in this Illustrator file I was working on. And, just because using every resource available to me. Why wouldn't I? So I'd say maybe of the 100 plus image files I made that would be used to accompany LinkedIn posts for this organization, I'd say maybe 20% were AI copywriting, and then like 80% was just all original copywriting. And you know, they don't have the biggest audience, so it's kind of hard to test this stuff. Um, but anyway, I don't think I'm a terrible copywriter or anything. Uh, I got 75% in children's literature. uh, so it was that course was kind of unfortunate. It was like children's literature around the world, and all the literature, all the books were about kids, doing stuff. It was like a kid in a situation with, conflict or something, and I was kind of like, oh man, that's not my style of. Like I was really excited. I was like, oh, I'm gonna see like talking animals and objects that are brought to life and things like that, and all kinds of crazy stories. But it was all, oh, this is a book from South Africa, and this is a book from blah blah blah, some other place, Australia, New Zealand, I think a few ones, and then it was kind of about a kid from that part of the world, and so I didn't love most of the books I read. There's one that had a supernatural creature. This kid's getting bullied at school, and every time it shows the kid who's bullying him, it's this supernatural creature. And I looked it up, and it's some New Zealand supernatural creature that does stuff. It might have been from the Maoris or something that believed in supernatural creatures. So yeah, I didn't love that course. The psychology course was it was another elective I had to do, and I did fine in that. I got like 80 some percent in it. I got like a 90 something on the one take home assignment that was in that course, and some awesome feedback. I was like, oh yeah, so you really understand the concepts, and this was excellent work, and blah blah blah. And so that was kind of cool. I had 75% in media production, and I mean, I have a pretty good grasp on creating videos. I've been creating videos for like ages. It seems like probably like 20 years or something like that. So I have an idea how to edit them. It was a little bit new when we started using Premiere Pro, and doing the sound mixing and stuff like that. It was, have like multiple audio tracks where you use like music, sound effects, the voiceover. So that was kind of cool. I'm pretty confident with my video production abilities, media production abilities. So, um, yeah, everything else in AdMarcom I got like an 80 or higher. So I should have been with distinction. I guess I should just be happy that I graduated and didn't have to pay like anything for it because of my disability. It's my mental disability because I'm crazy. I got covered by OSAP. I think the PC government has decided to axe like 75% of the grants though that go out to post-secondary, so I don't know if I'd be able to do that again. I sort of did that at the finish line of this course. So anyway, I'm looking at digital marketing courses that are online right now just to keep myself achieving, and to have goals and to achieve them. achieve. Yeah, there's one from Western University that's online and it's free for all of May. There's one from HubSpot I looked at and an ad. So anything to, sharpen my skills, help me develop new skills, anything like that, that'd be awesome. Make me a more attractive candidate for employment. The only reason I want employment is to get real estate. I want real estate. I'm not in the real estate game. Some kid in the AdMarcom program asked me if I was rich, and I was like, I was like, I don't own any real estate, so I don't think I'm rich, but maybe he's being philosophical. Uh, I should have been like, yes, I do have a rich life. Lots of smiles and adventures here and there. At least once a year, I go on some adventure. I wanted to go to Montreal on like some sort of writers retreat uh, this summer as well, but it looks like I have to put that off until I don't know. I'm gonna take a train there. I hate flying. I don't like being up high anywhere. And I don't care for airports generally. I mean, anyway, I'm not going to Montreal anytime soon. Um, yeah, that's about it for the Phillip Gallant Media Business Report right now. Maybe I'll do this every Sunday and upload it to YouTube. I think I did it last summer. Yeah, I think there's somewhere on the at Phillip Gallant YouTube channel. There's all this stuff, all this video. So, yeah, that's about 22 minutes. That's about a full TV show. Yeah. It's not as long as a podcast, but maybe I'm not meant for podcasting. See ya.